Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to reading for the week of February 12th. We're just going to jump right in here, Pisces. And you have this spider spirit and this horse as well. The horse is about like freedom and momentum, things building up very quickly. The spider is about like the story you tell, which I think is super important for Pisces at this time to be very careful of, the words that you use against yourself, the words that you use to describe yourself, all that other stuff. So, I think you need to make sure that you're, telling the story about yourself that you actually want to live. And, we can do this with actions like the environment that we're in, the words that we use, all that stuff. So I do see you needing to be careful. The spider card, again, is about the story you tell, but it's also about like a process. When you think about it, it's almost like, it's interesting. You have this poverty card and this gift card. I'm just going to tell you what I'm feeling here, Pisces. I feel like some of you are too focused on the result. You're not focusing on the process is really what's popping into my head with the spider. When you think about it, a spider just builds a web. It has a process that it follows. It puts the web together and then it catches bugs. It doesn't catch bugs and then build the web, right? or it doesn't need to have the bugs first, if that makes sense. And that's kind of like the message I'm getting off of that spider card is it's almost like you're trying to get the bugs. You're trying to get the result without building the web, if that makes sense. But I think if you would just build your web, that clearly there are going to be gifts that show up for you, or there's going to be some sort of result. That's how I see this reading is like, it's kind of like popping into my head that this reading is about a result. I think, I can't prove this, Pisces, right? But, I think, my kind of like gut intuition for the past couple months for you has been that there are some things that are like triggering your emotions, like when you had Uranus in your second house, which is very challenging financially and, makes your finances unpredictable. But it's even worse because it was in Aries for Pisces. And, we're talking, the last time. Years ago. But I think right now that time is being triggered. You even have this poverty and gift card. It's like worrying about something that could potentially happen. I think that you're having a lot of thoughts like back to that time, 2012, forward basically, somewhere around there. And, I kind of feel that this is about, it's almost like the universe is saying that there's something about karma, not like karma. I'm not saying like, some sort of karmic thing or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. It's almost like you have the opportunity to break free from a part of your story that has been repeating multiple times, just to give you an example. I always tell a story. I sat in my room after a big business failure when I was younger for like 4 years, did nothing. And like during that time, like I kept overdrafting my bank account like exactly $800. I did it multiple times, no joke, right? Because I was like trying to start other businesses and stuff like that. And but it was always like exactly the same amount, right? And so, clearly when something like that happens in your life, it is a story. It is, a pattern, or is a pattern that I was telling myself, or something, right? So I had to break that pattern. And I kind of feel that's what's going on here. And again, you have the spider and the horse. The horse is like freedom, but also says that you could be building a lot of momentum. So you have the opportunity to build a lot of success. But I think that this is about taking control of your destiny by focusing on your process, whatever that is. It's almost like there's a process that you could be doing that you're not getting started on, or that you're not doing consistently. And if you were to do it consistently, it would be successful. It's like, they're all holding books here. So it's like, maybe you want to write a book. If you want to write a book, just write one page every single day. By the end of the year, you'll have a book. You'll be done. It's like, it's almost as if, it's such a weird reading, actually. This is like a very different reading, I think, than what I've been getting for you. There are some similarities, of course, like we talked about with Uranus and everything like that. But I think what's different is it's like saying, yeah, there is a guaranteed result. Like if you take the step to write a page every single day, you will have a book at the end of the year. And, I'm not saying that you're writing a book, but what I am saying is that you are taking control of something that is clearly going to bring more freedom into your life. You have the Four of Wands here. Could be marriage. You do have some love stuff showing up here. Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Could be a new person coming in for you if you're into that sort of thing. So there could be love here. But again, I kind of feel this is a bigger picture reading. I think that you are trying to create freedom in your life so that you're not bound to anything It's almost like you don't want to be bound to something that is holding you back. I also feel some of you could be breaking a generational curse here, but it's not really a generational curse. I think that this is, number one, I don't believe in curses. Number one, I'd be dead if they were real. I can promise you that, right? Number two, what I would say here is that it's just a repeating story. That's what I mean by a curse. It's almost like you are noticing something or multiple things that repeat in your life, and you're changing your story, or you should be. Yeah, with the Eight of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is, diligent work, putting in the effort. I like the Eight of Pentacles because it does say you're getting a result here. Like whatever you're changing or whatever you're, whatever you're fixing or whatever the case may be. I kind of do feel like there are poverty fears here going on here for whatever reason. It cracks me up when I hear people say that Pisces doesn't care about money. It's like, yeah, maybe Pisces doesn't care about money in the sense that it's like we're not materialistic, right? But it's like, I know a lot of Pisces. I'm a Pisces and I love money. So, to me, money is just energy, and it can make great things happen. So what I would say here is that I think you are focused on money, and I do think that you could be worrying about money. That doesn't mean you're like in love with money. It just means that there are things going on in the world. Obviously you have to support yourself, obviously you have to be able to survive, and I do feel that poverty could be a little bit of fear, but then you have that gift card. It's like there's nothing to worry about here, if you go through the process, right? With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I think that you're letting go of things that cause your life to be hard as well. So again, there could just be certain things that you tell yourself. There could be certain parts of your story that make your life hard, and I feel that you are releasing those burdens with the Ten of Wands. With the Four of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, like there's like an opportunity coming in for you. I almost feel like this is an opportunity that you're creating, or it's something like you're taking something to the next level. The thing about the Four of Wands is that you're on this side of the card. These people are celebrating on this side of the card. So you have to go through a portal to get the Four Wands. And the Four Wands is really a card of celebration. These people are celebrating. And it's also a card of completion. This right here looks like a finish line, but they have like completed something, and now they're going on to the next stage. And, again, I see that here. Like, I think this is an opportunity that you've created, or you're taking something in your life to the next level. It's like you've been working on a project or a business or a career or yourself or whatever it is for a long time, and it's like now you're bringing it to a whole new level. So I don't know that I see it as a new opportunity, especially if it's work or business. It could be like you're doing the same thing, but you're getting a leadership position, or you're taking your business to the next level, or something along those lines. Next, you have this in the what are we doing in the area of the unexpected. You have the poverty card, and sorry, I was stuck on the readings I was doing yesterday, but you have the gift card. I think that you're worrying about poverty, or you're worrying that you're going to be experiencing poverty, but you're not, is what this is basically saying to me. Again, like I said, I think you're being triggered by I think you're being triggered by your past story, or things that have repeated as a story. But it seems to me like there's a gift coming in. It also is kind of funny to me that you have the Four Cups as your first card. I'll tell you something about the Four Cups. Sometimes I feel that the Four Cups is one of those cards where, in like 4 years, 5 years from now, you're going to be like, you're going to be, in an improved position, hopefully, in your life. And it's like, you're going to be looking back and saying to yourself, like, oh, all the answers were right in front of me. There's like that old joke that there's a guy who's drowning in the ocean, right? His boat capsizes, and he prays to God, or he's in the ocean, and like a little boat comes by and says like, hey, we'll pull you out of the water. You want to, come to shore? And he's like, oh no, God will save me. And then, like a bigger boat comes by, and he says the same thing. And I don't know the joke off the top of my head, but basically he dies, he drowns, he goes to heaven, and he's like, God, I prayed for you, and I thought you were going to save me. He's like, I sent you 2 boats and, whatever, right? And so sometimes I feel that way about the Four Cups, where it's almost like the universe brings us like all these opportunities that we're like praying for. We can't really see it because maybe it doesn't look exactly like how we think our life should go. But if we were more open to the flow and just allowing things happen, it would. Whatever these opportunities are in front of him, these 4 cups that he has manifested, would be the thing. So, what the hell am I talking about? It's like, well, you have to look at kind of the inspirations, the things that you're thinking about all day long, right? Like, are there repeat themes? Are there things that pop into your head? Are there opportunities that you're getting that you're not accepting because they don't look exactly like what you want? And it doesn't say you have to commit or, fully accept anything into your life, but it just says, can you explore the variety of life? Can you go have new experiences and see what happens? You have the Page of Pentacles. I do feel like there could be a new person here. I don't know what this is about, Seven of Swords. I don't really hate the Seven of Swords. To me, it's, it can be lying, cheating, stealing, but it's a golden card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be good no matter what. And, it's a card of tactics. You do have the Six of Swords here, which is like moving on to calmer shores. So some of you could be moving away from something tactically. You could be easing off on something, or, easing into something new in your life, like a new job, new business. And I do see that for some of you. For others, I feel like you are getting across the choppy waters and you are heading towards, bigger improvements in your life. There are like improvements here. So let's see if we can figure out what this is talking about. You have with the Four of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, card of resourcefulness, tapping into your resources. So again, I would be resourceful at this time. If you can do something without money, or if you can do something with less money, I would look for those types of opportunities with the Queen of Pentacles. But Queen of Pentacles is pretty good. We actually see a lot of financial improvement here. With the Page of Pentacles, yes, you have the Two of Swords twice in this reading. Two of Swords is this or that thinking. Thinking this or that, but there's a new island behind her, and I always say that's something that she hasn't thought of yet. And again, it seems to me like this reading is saying that you are needing to follow a process. Like, I wouldn't focus too much on a result. Like, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to start this business, I need to make all this money, I feel the Spider card is saying, no, just start building, start the process, have a process where you do a certain activity every single day to move forward, right? Same thing with love. It's like maybe instead of focusing on finding the love of your life, that you should just be focusing on going out and having fun, being the best person you possibly can be. And then that's like the spider web that you're building. And then you're going to trap someone later in the future, right? and convince them to marry your crazy Pisces ass, right? So again, I think that the Two of Swords is saying just doing things a different way is going to be a good for you. With the Six of Swords, you have the Ten of Swords. Something is dead done over with here. We kind of see this. It's like a good reading, but you're clearly there is something going on here. I can't quite figure it out yet. Again, we're gonna keep reading it and we'll figure it out. But there's something going on here about like needing to let go of something, or something is dead done over with in your life. And he's even making the symbol right here. I always say Ten of Swords is like a blessing in disguise. And I'm wondering if that's what this reading is. The whole thing about like being disappointed with the Four of Cups, not getting like what you want or what you think you needed, but really this is like a blessing in disguise. I really want to see what comes up in this last row when we clarify it, because that will make it a lot more. That will make me feel like, if it's good, like this is a blessing in disguise. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this card. Here you go. I think this answers a lot. This says you're shedding energies that no longer match your frequency. I mean, we literally talked about breaking like a generational curse, even though I don't really feel it's a generational curse. I think it's more you're just leaving things behind that no longer serve you. You have a spirituality card. It says use money magic spells to increase wealth and prosperity. You have this card that says you're being guided to discover your own unique spiritual path right now. Yes, definitely, Pisces. I mean, I think that it is time for you. It's time for Pisces, to show the world what spirituality is really what it is. Or like what being spiritual is, right? It's like, it's more than just being a good person. A lot of people fake being a good person. They act like they're a good person, or they yell, scream, and cry about, things that are going on, but they don't actually do anything to change it. To me, that is not a good person. That is just someone who's yelling, screaming, and crying. So, I think Pisces is here to show the world what they're made of, which, I always joke now that I can't even title your readings that anymore because I've done it too many times. But, really, it's true. That is what your job is, to show the people like what being spiritual really is, what it actually is. And again, this could be that could include making a bunch of money. Like, trust me, I get tons of comments that are people are like, they're like, oh, money is evil, and oh, screw Elon Musk or something like that. Someone called me a muskrat the other day because I talked about Elon Musk in a video. Never said I supported him, never said I liked him or anything like that, right? I actually don't know how I feel about him. If you're curious. But what I would say here is it's like, well, okay, you can yell, cry, scream all you want about it, but like, why don't you make money and then show the world what a positive billionaire would look like if you have a problem with it, right? So it's like people love to criticize. They love to say like, oh, this guy's evil and all this other stuff. And no doubt about it, some of them are evil. Absolutely. Some of them definitely eat babies. I am convinced of that, right? But what I would say here is, it's like, why can't you become, if it's so easy, like, why don't you become a positive one, right? And so, use money magic and positivity and spirituality and use your words, tell a different story, and do something positive, right? There you go. You have the Hangman, the Three of Cups, and the Seven of Swords here. The Hangman is in you being in Hangman mode, gaining enlightenment. So I feel like you've been trying to gain answers. You haven't been moving forwards or backwards, and things maybe have been a little bit of a holding pattern here. I definitely feel this. I'm a Pisces. I pull myself out of the readings when I do these readings just so I don't affect the reading. But it's like I've definitely felt this energy for sure, where it's like things that I've been working on have been taking a lot longer, or have been slow, or it's almost like this constant refinement process where things that I'm working on behind the scenes, I've constantly had to go back over and refine them and make them more perfect, and all that other stuff over time. And I think you've experienced that as well in your life, like where maybe you've been working through things and it's like you're always going back to the drawing board, always trying to fix things. But I think this is changing for you, Pisces. Finally, it's like you're finally making moves forward. You have a Three of Cups. I kind of feel like you're attracting a more of a soul tribe, and attracting better people. I would definitely focus on the people that you surround yourself with, just so that you can be sure that, again, it seems to me like in this reading, energy in your story is going to be very important to what you attract into your life. So, I would keep it positive. You have the Seven of Swords. Again, I would just, I really feel a big part of this reading is saying, don't be too stuck on only doing things one way. Sorry, my alarm's going off. But what I would say here, and now Siri wants to talk to me, which I don't want to talk to her, but with the Seven of Swords, it's like, I think that, this is saying you need to be flexible in the way that you accomplish things, or you need to be open to accomplishing things in different ways. You need to be tactical. This is a card of being tactical. It says if there's a better way to do something, then do it in a better way, whatever it is. Let's see. With the Hangman, are you kidding? You have the Hangman right here. I also think that it's, I also think that the Hangman is kind of like saying it's time for you to value yourself. It's kind of funny because someone left me a comment the other day. They said the Hangman upside down, it's like the money is falling out of their pockets, And while I don't necessarily agree with that, because that's not what the Hangman necessarily represents, it is like kind of popping into my head. Them telling me that is kind of like popping into my head. So I don't think that money is falling out of your pockets, but what I do think, I do think that you are in a time, Pisces, where you need to make sure you're giving to yourself and not giving too much to other people. Pisces is a classic overgiver, and I feel that it would be much better for the world if Pisces was selfish at this time and focused on building something amazing, because it's like if you built something amazing, you would affect way more people than just like giving to one person. I'm not saying you can't give. Someone always takes it there, and I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about, number one. Number two, like there's a door. Go click that X that's in the top corner over here, wherever it is. But number two, what I would say is that it would be much better for you to focus on being an inspiration at this time, doing something big. With the Three of Cups, you have the Nine of Pentacles. A lot of abundance coming in for you. I definitely feel you're very focused on increasing your abundance, and I think this is a good thing for you because, again, I think Pisces needs money right now. I think Pisces needs money to be able to do what's going on here, right? It's like without money, you're not going to be able to do it. So, I think that Pisces totally needs money. The other interesting thing about this card is that she has 6 pentacles over here, 3 over here. It's like she's willing to give 3 pentacles worth of her time, effort, energy, money to whatever it is, whatever in her life. And she always keeps more than enough. She keeps 6 pentacles for herself. So she's never over giving, literally what I just said. So, so you can still keep giving, but as long as you're not giving too much. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands, quick success here. Again, I think doing things in a different way. I don't even, without knowing what you do, I can't tell you. Obviously, I don't know what all you do, but with the Seven of Swords, it's like whatever you're trying to create in your life, maybe you have an idea to create it in this one way, right? The Seven of Swords, I feel, is just saying be flexible. Being flexible and looking for other ways of doing things, or just staying open to the potential that there is a better way to do what you're doing, just keeping your mind open. I think that's what will lead to quick success here with that Eight of Wands. There could also be communication coming in with a person. I feel like there could be a person coming in for you. It's either a water sign or earth sign. It could be any sign, general reading, of course. But, I think that there's someone who's coming in and communicating with you. I'm not, and this is like a new person. I'm not sure how I feel about that Seven of Swords yet, so let's look. I mean, this last row, it represents the good stuff, but you do have this card that says, all that glitters, and this card says all that glitters is not gold. There are these 2 masks right here on the gold, so it says, are you really getting the gold or are you getting the mask? And, it is showing up in the good stuff. This last row is meant to be good no matter what. But I would make sure that if you're meeting a new person, especially, that, you are getting the real person, that they're not hiding behind a mask or something like that. You have this community card, and again, you have the 3 cups, so community is going to be very important for you. Meeting new people, building a support group, or, even if you're like working on anything in your life, having like an accountability partner, all that other stuff is definitely going to be good for you, Pisces. You have the 7 of Wands, the 2 of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Kind of like the 7 of Wands is a card of conviction. It says that you are very sure of yourself, or that you're getting to a point where you are very sure that something is a good idea for you. So again, if you're working on a project, a business, whatever the case may be, I think the more you believe in yourself, the better. And I do feel like Pisces is like Neo in the Matrix. You're like starting to believe that you are able to do things. Or, I think that there could be a lot of moments for Pisces as well over the next few years where it's kind of like it's like you're being proven right, and it's not about being right, but again, I think that there are moments where everybody has told you to live your life a certain way. You start living your life your way, or you start doing things your way, and you realize that your way is better. And again, the reason, Pisces, that you are here to do this at this time is to show people a better way to live, to do whatever, and and it's not about like telling people you have to live your life this way. It's about just being an example. Just by you living in your way, Pisces way, you are being spiritual by living according to your rules, and you're not telling anyone else what to do or anything like that. Just by doing that, you are being spiritual. So there you go. You have the 2 of Swords, again, coming up in the good stuff. So again, I think you're seeing that 3rd place. I always say this is my card of 3rd place solutions. You have the Page of Cups. Definitely could be love coming in for you here. It could be a water sign, could be any sign. I mean, Page of Cups to me is just a general admirer. So, it could be whatever you're into. But let's see. With the 7 of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is like an adventurer. He is coming up in the good stuff. So, some of you are definitely going on a new adventure at this time. With the 2 of Swords, you have the Hierophant here. Could be marriage, for sure. But it's funny that I was talking about breaking tradition, basically. Breaking, a generational curse. So, definitely some of you could be doing that. But you could also be meeting a person that you could marry in the future. With the Page of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely a knight in shining armor coming in for you if you want love. But this is like a deep reading, Pisces. I think this is more, there's love here, but I think this is more of a, more about you. I think it's more about a process that you are going through. You have this June card, and this funnel card says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, I think that this year is going to be great for you if you put in the work, but I do think between now and like May, June, that there are going to be little frustrations. Like, I know people don't necessarily want to hear that, but at the same time, it's like, but that doesn't mean your life is going to be bad. It just means there are going to be like little things. It's like when a spider builds a web, when a bug lands in it, it has to rebuild that part of the web, right? So, it's like, yes, maybe there are parts of your process that when you catch a bug, a fly, you're going to have to do something over again, but, I think it'll be worth it because you got a result. You got a fly, right? You caught a bug. You have this flowers card. It says happiness. There's going to be happiness. It's crazy that you have this, and then you have this teardrops card. It says great personal sorrow. I think that some of you are, it's like, I think the sadness, it comes from being a Pisces and, like just more like thinking like about things in the past and things being easier in your life, or thinking to yourself like, oh, I remember when I used to be able to do this or that or the other thing. And so I think Pisces needs to live in the future. And not even, just be present. You have this bull card that says, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. Yeah. Again, you're coming out on top here, Pisces. You have the sun card that says happiness and well-being. So you have 2 cards of happiness and well-being. I want to see what this next card is as well. You have this bird flying. It says news is on the way. Yeah, if you've been waiting for news, you have the 8 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. If you've been waiting for like news, approval, anything like that, that could be what's coming in here. But this looks pretty interesting. Like I said, trust the process. Start the process. Just in general, build your web, and the bugs will come. So there you go, Pisces. Love it. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.